Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Mason Fitzhugh and Alex Mayer on the line, and they are audio engineers at Innervoice Media and also co-founders of West Coast Modular Society. Alex, Mason, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Adam.
Yeah.
All right, so excited to get into today's topic. So bringing creativity to the community through multimedia production. So first off, for those of you that haven't been watching the show for a long time, we've had other individuals. We have Steven on the show. We've had a couple others on from Innervoice Media. So we're big fans of the work they're doing over there. And I'm excited to get these two guys in the line today because they're, I believe, the first two, like outside of Steven, that were at Innervoice. Am I off on that one?
Yeah, that's us.
That's correct. Yep.
Oh man, I want some stories. That's all I have to say. I want some stories on how Wonka Land and all of this stuff started, because you guys are doing some special work over there, and I want to hear how this all came about. But we'll start this episode the way that we start them all, with our Mission Matters Minute. So we at Mission Matters, we amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's our mission. What mission matters to you?
So here at Innervoice Media, our mission really is to become a central hub in the NorCal region for creative individuals, really looking to link up with other people in their industries and, just make art and create great work together.
Yeah, and more specifically with West Coast Modular Society, it's kind of one of the communities we felt that we could have like a voice in starting ourselves. And it's not a super huge community in our area, but we're looking to grow it. And so that's kind of one of the first niche groups that we've started.
It's awesome. And you better believe I'm going to get a demo out of you on one of these synths before we get off here. So don't worry, we're going to get one of those out there because we're going to have some fun. But I guess just starting back further in your career, like where did this creative journey begin for you? Like I know what you're doing now, of course, as audio engineers, but like where did all this start?
So for me, I started as a musician when I was a teenager. I started playing the drums and then piano, and then realized it may not be as realistic to get a career as a touring musician. So I switched to audio engineering and went to audio engineering school, and with Mason and with Steven, the owner of the Innervoice, so we kind of all congregated there.
Oh, you all went to school together?
Well, Steven was an instructor at the recording school, and Mason and I were students. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, get out of here. The story unfolds. That's awesome. So you've known each other for some time then, since you guys are little guy.
Yeah, we did actually go to high school and the same elementary school as well, if you can believe
come
that.
on. So for real little guys.
Yeah. Since like grade, I think we were in that class together.
Yeah, we've ran a pretty parallel journey so far.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And so where'd the creative side start for you?
Well, for me, I played a lot of instruments growing up, like trumpet. I tried to learn keyboard and such. But as I got to high school, I kind of found I had more fun recording the music and working on the music than actually like playing or writing the music. So it kind of just turned into a natural transition after high school and such to try to find my degree and getting recording done.
So how did the idea, like I'm trying to picture how this story unfolds. So both of you are students of Steven. Like where this idea for Innervoice Media, and how did that transition take place?
So yeah, that's even a story I don't think all the employees here know. So Steven had been kind of culminating this brand and the project of Innervoice for a long time. And he had culminated that kind of in a home studio situation. And he had moved out of his home studio into an office suite, not the location we're at now. And I just saw that he had a bunch of stuff to move on Facebook one day. And so I asked if I could help, and I kept showing up and bothering him until he hired me.
Wait a minute, I'm trying to figure this story.
Like we had worked together and knew each other, but I just wanted to be a part of what he was doing.
Man, what a great story. You're like, hey, can I help you move? And then you just never left.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of how it turned out with me too. A few months later, after they'd moved to a new space or were in the process of moving, yeah, they needed some more help, and I was like, yo, I've got 2 hands, let me do what I can. Yeah.
What an exciting journey. And I always like this because it's like you don't always know like where you're headed next. But sometimes when I think about the community value and like the aspect, and like again, I've had the privilege of having multiple people from Innervoice on the show. So as I start to kind of get to feel like you do have like a legit community there. Like tell me a little bit more about how what's the secret sauce? Like how do you cultivate that?
Secret sauce.
I know that's a hard one, by the way, but there's creators out there, and there's a lot of people that are trying. It's not an easy thing. I'm not saying it's like how. You tell me what you've observed through the years.
I'd say that, I mean, one of the secret ingredients is I think that we're all creative individuals. I mean, we all come from different backgrounds, but most of us here are cinematographers or musicians or lyricists. So I think having that creative mindset can, you can approach problems in a unique way and problem solve differently if you get in that creative mindset.
Yeah, it's really easy working with a lot of like-minded individuals. And then when you get, I don't know, everybody's got their own connections in their own little circles. And then so the bigger our team gets, the bigger the whole like community seems to get. Everybody kind of brings in their friends like, hey, you should come by, check this place out. And
yeah,
I don't know, it's been fun. It's just kind of naturally grown on its own.
And speaking of the community, I mean, you do quite a bit of like events and other things, like even just outside, which I find pretty unique for a production studio. Maybe do you care to comment on any of that? Like there's just a lot of different moving pieces.
Yeah, so we do host monthly events at we have a recording studio on site, but we also we host monthly jam sessions on the last Sundays of every month. And so people can kind of come in and try out instruments that they may not have access to, or meet and network with other local musicians and artists. We just had one a couple days ago, and it was a lot of fun because we always jam too. We're musicians too.
Yeah. And then besides that, we like to see when the community, the local community here in Auburn is getting anything going. We try to show up and get photography or videography coverage of it for social media for them. We kind of just make ourselves a presence in the community as much as we can.
Yeah, that's huge. And then like to like work and serve within the community that you're part of, to me, I mean, you can't, it's one of the reasons why I was excited to have you guys on the show, is just to hear from another angle of it, because it's not always easy, and it definitely takes a certain amount of leadership and thought process to go out there, cover the events, to want to do it, to create the media, to create the content. And to me, it's just fun to see the feedback of it, even with what we do over here at Mission Matters in our show, to see the feedback and to be able to go out there and to promote others. I feel like that's also one of the kind of like the special ingredients that help bind, you know, a company. And you don't have to be a media production, right? In any company, right? To their community and to serve those around them. So I think it's something special that you guys are doing over there.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, so let's get a little bit more specific in terms of just the services offered, because I don't want to assume that everybody watching this understands, you know, what a production company is or what the facility entails, because I guess I queued it up as Wonka Land, but no, they're not making chocolate over there. They're making movies, they're making a lot of other things. So maybe tell us a little bit more about the facility.
Yeah, sure. So we like to think of ourselves, I mean, we operate as a full production house, and we're so we support cinematography, we support photographers, we support like short films, we support bands who need stuff tracked for their album. We're kind of just a one-stop shop for any type of media, whether it's audio, visual, or otherwise. And our packages can get down pretty specific, but we like to shoot corporate videos and commercials for some big companies, and then kind of do small projects for audio guys.
Yeah, and in conjunction with supporting like local filmmakers and other creatives, we also, with our inventory of equipment, we support them through a rental system too. So we're supporting local people with small scale rentals, but we're looking to scale that up as well in video and audio equipment.
What's one of your favorite things about being over at Innervoice Media?
To me, that's an easy one. My favorite thing is kind of having the freedom here to kind of pursue whatever I want to develop here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have to put in the hard work and research to figure out maybe how to get a new system online, but we're just, if it aligns with the company values, then we have, a lot of freedom to do that. So we can kind of develop our own skills as well and grow.
Yeah, it's been really nice to have freedom to kind of not just like shape the company, but to like kind of shape almost the community, if that makes sense, with people coming in and helping out. Like it's really nice to have a voice here and then to see that voice kind of carry out of here as well. It's really nice to see us have an effect on the creative community, even if it is just getting them out and jamming every once in a while sometimes.
Any projects you care? I want to hear about some of the projects that you guys maybe have worked on, or just anything that sticks out. Like, give us a little bit of a flavor for some of what comes out.
I mean, some of the projects that I'm always excited to work about are when we team up with our local filmmaker, Joey Catchus with Storylit Films. We've been doing a couple post audio for some of his shorts, so we'll do Foley or add new sounds to enhance the story. And he's just great to work with, and it's always fun working on that.
Yeah, he always gives us our creative space, but like he also knows what he wants, so that's really cool too. He's really easy to work with and super creative, super talented. Yeah.
Give me just a little bit on the corporate side too. You mentioned that you do corporate videos and that you work with, shooting commercials, things like that. Anything that sticks out?
So we're currently doing corporate photography for a group called T360, and they're a real estate firm. And so we fly out our camera team out there, and they will cover all of their events and kind of put together a few different cuts of like a highlight reel of this is what happened, this is what you're going to expect from the next one, thanks for coming out. And then besides that, we shoot like their commercials locally for any of the events that they're doing here.
And then we'll support that with, in our studio, we can shoot full interview styles to get the words and the video coverage for event coverage videos or social ads, stuff like that.
Oh, and you mentioned, that's a good point that you bring up. And you mentioned that you flew out, right? So that you're located in Southern California, but you support, other markets. Yeah.
We are mobile based on our clients' needs. Yeah, I would say.
Oh, that's awesome. So I want to switch it up a bit here. I do want to spend some time on West Coast Modular Society. So first off, you're both co-founders of this. Now I have a little bit more of the backstory. So you go back to elementary school, right? But so how did this vision develop? Like, you two are sitting there one day and you're like, you know what? We need to do this. Like, how'd that happen?
Well, I mean, we have a long history, parallel, but we actually didn't really do music together up until when we worked here together.
Oh, really? Though, that's interesting. Go ahead.
It is weird. So, but here we have this incredible facility and all these tools. So we wanted to kind of share. We have a recently discovered love of synthesizers, which are electronic instruments. And a lot of people, you hear it in so many songs back from like the 70s and 80s even, and it's a staple, but people don't know what it is, so we're trying to share it with people and the joy of sound design.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know what it was until you showed me. I can't wait. So for everybody else, before we go further in this one, maybe you want to do a little demo, if you will, because this is going on TikTok for sure.
Yeah. We've got one here. Power it up real quick.
Yeah. This is a small one here from from Korg, and it's called the Volca Keys. It's pretty fun. You can come in here and tap little notes. You can program stuff so it starts on its own. You can come through and kind of fiddle with it as it does its own thing. It's a lot of fun. You can spend, honestly, hours with even something as small as this. And
yeah, that's going on TikTok.
Like.
That's definitely, and I'll tell you, like when you first showed me this, I'm like, okay, this is cool. Like, but how'd the idea come to start an actual, like, to found something to spread awareness? Like, where did that go? Because I've had plenty of ideas of something, but I don't necessarily take that next step. Where did that come from?
I mean, for me personally, it came from like telling people this is what I'm interested in, and then getting like a questioning look back at me, like, what are you talking about? And so it started with kind of just showing our musician friends who would come by the studio, and then it turned into like, we should show as many people as we can because people seem to love this. Yeah.
And I'm not quite sure we would have been able to launch it at this scale without the support of Innervoice, because Steven was a big proponent of us hosting regular community events. And so it was really, started by him. And we were nervous at first, but, now it's a lot of fun. And we've met a lot of people that are our friends now and that come back regularly.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's great. And like for people that are out there, I like what you just now said too. At first you were maybe a little bit nervous. You didn't know if you wanted to do it, but then you went and did it. So I have to ask this question because there's people that'll watch this interview and they'll, going forward, and they maybe have an idea or they have something else, and it doesn't have to be music, right? It could be anything. It could be a business they want to start. It could be a lot of different things. And I feel like there's always just that moment of like from idea to actually doing it. Like, what would be your advice to people that are out there, for lack of better words, sitting on ideas that they need to get out there and make a reality? What kind of things would you tell them?
Well, I would say to just do it. I mean, you can keep it casual if you're scared, but I mean, that's what we kind of did. It was, it just started with a couple people, and we would invite out like once a month, and then these kind of things, creative ideas like that, that you're looking to share with people or a community, they often mold themselves based on the community. A lot of people let you know what they want to do, or hey, you should try this. Have you ever thought about doing this? And I don't know, usually you'll find that the community will speak to its needs.
Yeah. And I tell people the same thing. I'm like there's at the end of the day, like you just have to try. Like the first podcast episode that we ever recorded here, I probably like my first 300 episodes. I never recorded a podcast, didn't know anything about it. And I used my iPhone and well, this will hurt you for being audio guys, but I used my iPhone and headphones. Like that was it. And I used the phone literally. And we probably did 300 episodes. We built an audience and we got traction for an entire brand that didn't exist prior, based off of just starting. And was I scared? Let me tell you guys something. I was so scared that the first interview I ever did was the other co-founder of the company. I'm like Chirag, I don't have anybody to talk to. I want to just talk to you, man. I'm scared.
Yeah.
And let's not talk about the first videos. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but then that fear, you do it and it may not be the perfect way the first time, but then you continually improve it. And then over time, that compound improvement, then you've got everything dialed in,
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. And it's awesome to see what you guys are doing over at Innervoice, and then also, of course, at West Coast Modular Society. So that being said, gentlemen, it's been great having you both on. Just have to ask, what's next? I mean, what's next for you at Innervoice Media? What's next at West Coast Modular Society?
So in 2 days from now, this Thursday, Innervoice Media and West Coast Modular Society will both be out with the Auburn Recreation District for an event called Kidsapalooza. So we'll be out there with some synthesizers to teach kids about how to make electronic music, as well as other support from the Innervoice team to get kids excited about creating and, just being active.
Start them young.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if somebody is watching this and they want more information, either on Innervoice Media or on West Coast Modular Society, what's the best way for them to follow up and to connect?
I would say you could follow us on Instagram for West Coast Modular Society, which is just at West Coast Modular Society. And then if you're looking for more information on us for Innervoice, you can find us at innervoice.media or Creative Wonder Lab on Instagram.
Fantastic. And we'll put all that information in the show notes so that our audience can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time listening to a Mission Matters episode or engaging with the platform, we're all about bringing on entrepreneurs, executives, experts, creatives, and really just having them share their story, their mission, how they got started. Also, what things can we learn from their journey so that we can all, learn and grow together. if that's the type of content that you're into or sounds interesting or exciting or engaging, hit that subscribe button, because we have many more mission-based individuals coming up on the line, and we don't want you to miss a thing. And hey, guys, just want to say, really, it's been awesome having you both on the show. 5,000 plus episodes in, first synth on the show, and to have both of you out here as well, man, really my pleasure and honor. So thanks again for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a pleasure talking with you.
Yeah, thank you so much.